Kanwal Rekhi landed in Silicon Valley way back in the 1960s and became not just a pioneering Indian success story in the US, but, as one epithet says, the godfather of Silicon Valley's Indian mafia. The first Indian CEO to take a company public in the US stock exchange, he found and built the Ind US Entrepreneurs, or TIE, the largest and most influential network of Indian businessmen that's been spurring on the startup and business ecosystem in India over the years. US based Rekhi has a new book out called The Groundbreaker, as apt a title as it can be, in which he recounts his journey overcoming adversity and challenges to realize his American dream. But with immigration in general and H-1B visas in particular in the crosshairs of the Trump administration, is it the end of the American dream as Rekhi fears? But he says, no fret, there's an even bigger Indian dream that is up for the taking. If only, as he says, we empower our manpower with quality education and set them on the path to entrepreneurship. We can dream to become number one again. That was his message in his exclusive interview to The Week.
So when the British took over India in 1800, the Indian economy was the number one economy in the world. We were the largest, most creative, most productive, most entrepreneurial economy in the world. By the way, we were 25% of the world's GDP in 1800. When they left in 1947, they had bled us dry. We were only down to 2% of the world's GDP. And we were a land of beggars by the time they left. The tragedy of India is from 1947 to 1991, that 2% went down to 1%. Because we pursued the socialist policies, we suppressed our entrepreneurship, we suppressed our businesses, we turned over the bulk of economy over to bureaucrats. But in 1991, Narasimha Rao, the Prime Minister Narasimha Rao, turned the ship around, and as a result, India is back on the move. Now we have 3.5% of the world's GDP. We have become the fourth largest economy after the US, China, and Germany, and pretty soon we'll overtake Germany and become third largest. Are we happy being number three? Is that good enough, or should we try to be number two? Or can we even dare to dream to go back to being number one, our rightful place that we had in 1800? I think India ought to think along those lines, do some long-term thinking, play a long game 50 years out. Can we be number one 50 years out from now? And there's no reason to believe that we can't get there. We have the smartest people in the world. Can we put our faith in our entrepreneurs? Can we have policies, that makes a massive, entrepreneurship possible in India? Can we have the entrepreneurs going back to the villages and in third tiers and fourth tier cities and transforming them overnight using latest technology to solve the problems these people have? We ought to have a dream, to reclaim our rightful place 50 years out from now, and that means we need to start thinking along that line, making sure the policy frameworks are right, making sure we are educating every Indian to top-notch IIT quality education. Can we have 1,000 IITs? Why not, right? And so my thing is that India ought to be thinking along those lines and not worry about short-term issues about IP, short-term about issues of innovation. Let the entrepreneurs make it happen.